It's going to be clearing you here very, very soon, back off to the south and to the east. So we will wait here from the National Weather Service if they're going to clear McLennan County from this tornado warning. But once again, we were getting those reports in here that in the Bruceville Eddy area, possible tornado damage to a house with injuries in that area right now as that moves. So you can kind of see now how they're trimming back the tornado warning. That one goes until 6:30, 6:45. It goes until 6:45 this evening, and then movement on that has been to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour, 25 to 30 miles an hour. So that's been very, very consistent. But notice now, McLennan County has been taken out of the tornado warning. Falls County in the warning right now until 6:45. You can see more of an easterly track now rather than a northeasterly track. So when you see more of an easterly track, it's going to track where the moisture source is. So you go up this way, the moisture is not as good as it goes this way. So it's going to go off to the east here because it has all that moisture moving out from the Gulf, and it can feed these storms much better than if they go to the northeast. So that's why we have the turn right here. And we also call these the right turners. These are tornadoes that turn right because they go to where the fetch of moisture is, and that's exactly what's going on here. But Marlin, like I said, I can't stress this enough. And now it's turning right, Marlin. It's heading right toward you. You need to head to your safe spot. If you live in Marlin right now, Marlin, you are in line of seeing a possible tornado as it moves through. We've had reports now of this cell back over toward the Bruceville Eddy area that it damaged homes and it caused injuries. That's the same storm cell that's moving in your direction. So you need to seek shelter right now. I can't say that enough in that area. Down towards Sunrise, we'll put a tracker on this. So you want it a little bit more to the east, right? We've got that going a little bit farther east and northeast for the most part because that's where the warning is. There you go. And what we are watching for the most part too is not only the heavy rainfall, but the possibility of some hail in there, and of course the isolated tornado. Take a look at some of the communities that are in line here as that pushes off to the east and to the northeast over toward Buffalo Mop at 627, Big Hill at 635. It does look like maybe down toward Groesbeck at 657 or 656. Either way, we've got that heavy rainfall that's moving through your area. Notice how it's turning more off to the east. Let's track it a little bit farther, like east, northeast there, Xavier, and kind of drag that squall tracker a little bit farther down, too. Let's get everybody included, and then just drag that whole thing out, if you will, please. Yeah, something like that, yes. We'll put a few more communities in there, and I do think, for the most part, we're going to be looking at not only the possible tornado, but we're looking at flash flooding, too, in the area. Again, take a look at some of the communities there that are in line, and a lot of this activity will be moving through here very, very soon. If you're in the Blue Ridge area, not to mention Marlin, and again, this is the spot right here that we need to take cover from. We go back over to our velocity. Oh, and look at that. It's right where my finger is. I even moved it. That's exactly what we are watching for right there, because that is the spot right there. Marlin, you are in line. There it is. Over towards Sunrise, you are in line. You have to be in your safe spot now. This is a dangerous situation. This is a possible tornado, and we're looking right at it right here with our velocity. That's moving in your direction. Let's put a tracker right on that there, Xavier, if you don't mind, because it's going to be going right through that area here soon. You want to back it up just a tad here because what we are looking at is it's moving through at this moment. So we don't even show Marlin on the map because it's getting ready to go through there right now. In Marlin. It's also getting ready to move right through the Sunrise area as this tracks off to the north and to the east, roughly at about 30 miles an hour. A few other communities, as you can definitely pick out here across the area. Over toward Rocky Hill, it's getting ready to move through right now, not far away from Blue Ridge at 613. Over toward the Stranger area at 619. Colt at 630. There's Buffalo Mop at 634. Little Elm at 637. 637 as well, and that continues to track off to the north. You saw a little marker on there as well, so you know it's all moving at a pretty good clip. So the rainfall has been very heavy out there with it as well, and for the most part, Xavier, we'll stop the radar here for a minute and just take a storm tracker and kind of emulate where the watch box is, or actually the tornado warning box. So this is the direction it's going to go, because that's the direction of the box. And I'll move out of the way here if you want to drag it. You want to kind of match that up there, and that'll show, yeah, exactly like that. It heads it over toward Mustang around 6:05. Over toward the Coit area at 6:20. Buffalo Mop again 6:32. Thornton at 6:36, and Pleasant Grove, if it holds together, and right now it's been holding together, around 6:38. But there is that little inflow notch right now. And again, you see in meteorology books all the time, we always talk about the hook echo. You see those when you're looking at radar for tornadoes. Well, this is the hook echo right here. It's the comma shape that you're seeing, and this would be the spot. So we'll flip right on over to our velocity. Oh, and I didn't move my finger, and that's exactly what we are seeing here as we look right toward Marlin. Once again, Marlin under the gun. Sunrise under the gun right now. There's a tornado, or at least possible tornado, Doppler radar indicated tornado, right over your city right now. If you live there, get to a safe spot now. Don't wait. It is moving through at this time. You need to make sure you're in an area where there are no windows in your home. Make sure you get into a bathroom or maybe even a closet. Stay away from windows. This is moving right across your area right now as we speak, and you'll notice that tornado warning that's out there that goes until 6:45. So we're going to be talking about this for a little while here as that moves off to the north and to the east. So once again, that is the area. As we check out the hail, they're also seeing some pretty big hail cores in there. 1.75, that's golf ball size hail. Once you get 1.25, half dollar, 2 inches, getting over toward the size of an egg, you get the trend here. Some very big hail. That's because we've got some very big thunderstorms that are going through the area right now. We're talking about some supercells. You need some strong storms to produce some hail that big. I want to back it out just a second here to show you. Basically, to the west of I-35, there's nothing going on until you work your way over by the Eden area, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Our main concern is this here, and this is the tornado warning. Now it's moving more off to the east. It was going northeast, but now it's going more to the east. Basically, if you live over in the south and western part of Limestone County, get ready to take cover. It's heading in your direction. Bremont, you're right on line too, so you need to be ready to move down in Bremont as well. Marlin, it's going through right now. I hope you're in your safe spot, because this is a possible tornado that's moving through your area. We'll put a tracker on that, and we'll more of it off of an easterly track there, Xavier. We'll go, more of it east, kind of follow the box there, and what we are looking at for the most part. I'll get it back out of the way here. It will slide it down, just a little bit, and that takes basically a lot of it over toward the Coit area at 6:28, to Buffalo Mop at 6:37, Round Prairie, you're in line there, Little Elm, all those little communities. You need to head to your safe spot right now. Groesbeck, it may stay just to the south of you, but I wouldn't take any chances. I'd still get into a safe spot right now if I were you. Back toward Riesel, it's to your south, but very heavy rainfall moving through Riesel. Very difficult to see much out there, and you will see some flooding going on. Just to give you an idea, here's Waco, here's Hewitt, Lorena. As you work your way over toward the Hallsburg area, it's going to be east now. It has pushed out of McLennan County. McLennan County not under any warning at all, but the warning continues as you work your way over toward Falls County, and definitely starting to get ready to closer to areas over toward Limestone County right now as it moves in that area. It's more of an easterly direction. Let's put a storm tracker on that. Let's go almost east for the most part here, Xavier. It's going more east than it is going northeast here across our area. So if you want to put a storm track on that, that would be great. And just slide that back off to the east. That would be great here. The Weather Service right now is just letting us know about a mile and a half southeast of the Bruceville area line is Bruceville Eddy line, and that's where they've had the damage there and the injuries in those like a barn in that region right now. But there's a tracker on that heading over toward the Coit area at 623, odds at 625. Pleasant Grove's at 641, and Thornton at 642 for the most part. But once again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado across our area. That warning is still in effect right now. So some of the hail, it's moving at east at 20 miles an hour. So we'll take it due east there. But not only an isolated tornado, but that ping pong ball size hail also causing quite a few problems there. So once again, it's 6:09. Marlin, it's already almost through you at this time right now. But that possible tornado basically has been holding together as it moves through. It's almost going more east, Xavier, So I would almost put a tracker, back it out, and go maybe east, if you will, please. And that'll show you exactly who's going to be in line now. It's kind of taking a turn. And like I said, it does take a turn like that sometimes because it wants to find the best moisture source. That's not to the northeast. That's more going to be more to the east because the Gulf of Mexico is wide open for business, and that comes right up that way. There's a tracker on that right now, and as it moves off to the east at about 30 miles per hour, some of those areas you can kind of see from odds around 614 to the Buffalo Mop area at 619 over toward Davis Prairie at 649. This is the spot right here. We're getting some hail. There's some hail cores that are usually inside some of these cumulonimbus clouds, the supercells that we're seeing out there. And take a look. Very, very large hail possible over toward Marlin. We're talking 1.75. That is golf ball size hail, half-dollar size hail, ping pong ball size hail. Just some very, very large and severe hail in that region. Quarter-size hail not far away from the Blue Ridge area, and that's all tracking back off to the east as well. But you'll notice the heavy rainfall associated with that. And as we stop it here, let's stop that just for a second. We're going to correlate that with where our winds are turning, and it matches right up with that hook echo that we're talking about, that inflow notch. That's exactly where we've got the rotation, and we know that because we go back over to velocity, and this is the spot here that has that hook echo, and this is the spot where you're seeing the gate-to-gate shear. Wind speeds there could be going 90 miles per hour one way and 90 miles per hour the other way. There's where you get your turn, and that's where you get your spin, and that's what we're seeing right now, and that's what the Doppler radar is seeing. That's why the alarms are sounding right now, and that's why the outside alarms are going on as well, and the sirens. And that's all going to be moving over toward Blue Ridge here, not too far away from the Stranger area as well. And most of this activity, again, we'll stretch it to the east at about 20 miles an hour. It takes it over toward Mustang very, very soon, around 6:41. That's a half hour, but I'll tell you what, sometimes these things pick up a little speed, too, over toward Headsville at 7:07. This is looking inside the thunderstorm. It'll be very difficult to see it just because we got a lot of rain going on out there right now. And you notice the rainfall really picking up there down toward the Blue Ridge area and over toward Mustang. And as you work your way back, quiet down in the Reagan area right now, but that's going to be in line. You are going to be in line of the possible tornado as that moves off to the east now at about 20 miles per hour. We'll back out. Let's back it out just a little bit here in case some folks are just joining us here, just getting home from work. We'll go a little bit farther here too, Xavier, to show you. Here in Waco, we are clear in the Waco area. We're clear down toward Temple and clean. Thank goodness nothing's going on down in Temple right now. It's been up in Falls County. That's where the main show is right now. So that's where we will take you there. We've got that tornado warning that has now shifted a little bit farther off to the east at about 30 miles an hour. It was going to the northeast. Now it's kind of turned to the east because there's better moisture that way. So Riesel, you kind of dodged a bullet. It was heading in your direction. Now it's going to be sliding to the southeast. That's why you have to be so careful with these tornadoes. They have their mind of their own. So they can do whatever they want, and that's what's happening right now. As that moves off to the east, though, some areas that are in line, as you can see, beginning to move into the south, and it will be moving into the southwestern part of Limestone County at this time. There's a track on that, moving off to the east, 20 to 25 miles per hour. Once again, take a look at some of the communities there. Maybe you live in some of those areas, but you need to be seeking shelter right now. I'm sure you hear the sirens over toward the Pleasant Grove area at 6:22, White Rock at 6:25, Thornton at 6:28, Headsville at 6:32. If you are in Davis Prairie, head to your shelter right now at 6:36. Bald Prairie at 6:42, and it looks like around the Old Union area at 6:49, we're going to start to see that begin to move through your spot as well. Once again, you're clear in Waco, you're clear down toward Temple and Killeen, but our area of major concern right now is Falls County as well. Now, I would say Limestone County, you are in line of seeing this very active weather move through, but a well-defined hook echo inflow there is definitely that drier air spilling into the storm at this time, and this is where we would be definitely looking at it. In the sunrise, if you want to flip over to velocity, keep an eye on it. See, it matches right up here. That's because that's where the spin is, and that's what our radar is picking up here with our velocity. It is not weakening whatsoever. So if you're in sunrise, I hope you're already in your basement or your spot, your safe spot, because that's moving right across your area right now. Blue Ridge, down toward the Reagan area, you need to be in your safe spot too, because that is heading in your direction. We showed you a little bit earlier where to go, but let's remind folks where they need to go with severe weather, especially if you live in an apartment. Get off the third floor, get down to the first floor. That's where you want to be. The best place, obviously, would be in a tornado shelter if you have one. Now, if you don't have a tornado shelter, just get to the lowest level of your apartment or of your home, of your condo. Interior, don't want to be hanging out by the windows. Windows are terrible places to be, right around those windows, because they come crashing in on you. It's not a good idea to be in one of those manufactured homes. Let's say a mobile home is not a good place to be, and a car is not a good place to be as well, as that the wind will just pick up your car and throw it. Again, it's better to be in the ditch, laying in the ditch or down in like a little gully, than to be out in a car. You'll notice, though, the rain really picking up once again. Heavy rainfall, that hail, and Blue Ridge, you're under the gun at this hour as you work your way down toward Reagan. Bremont, I'd be ready to go. Don't wait for the sirens to be firing up there. I would get on my horse there and I would get ready to roll, because that's going to be moving in your direction. And look how large this is. This is one large supercell that we are seeing. Big time comma shape, big time diagram here of what a supercell thunderstorm looks like that is capable of producing a tornado, and that's what we are seeing here. You'll notice on the last few images there, we're starting to see a possibility there of maybe a little kick up of something that was on the ground or that's being picked up because of that green you see on the back side, and we will check that here. It looks like a lot of stuff here, but we will go through it here. This is a feature we have on our Viper Doppler radar that will indicate a few features that we have here. You saw there, this is the rain here, precipitation. We know it's raining, and it's raining really, really hard in that area. There's our rotation detector. Well, that will tell us exactly where the radar thinks the rotation is, the gate-to-gate shear. One of the winds going one way, one going the other. Same story here with our velocity. Notice, though, we had a little marker right there, and then it kind of falls apart. Don't let your guard down, though. These pulsate up and down here. But this is the one that we want to look at here. It's called the debris detector. When do you have a funnel or a possible tornado, the stuff on the ground is picked up into the atmosphere and then dispersed in the air, so we can see that now on our Doppler radar. And for the most part, we're not seeing anything like that right now, which is some good news. But that's what a debris detector would be. It would show you a big storm out there, or a tornado picking up debris, picking up homes or whatever, cars, and then throwing it up in the atmosphere. So we are not seeing that right now, which is some good news. But what we are seeing is that heavy rainfall, the thunder, the lightning, and that continues with that tornado warning in effect that was running until 6:45 across the area. So for another 20 minutes or so, there's our lightning strikes. We just have to watch out for that lightning. Even 3 houses down from my house last night, a house was struck by lightning. Fire trucks were out there. they got the fire out, but there's a big tarp there on the roof there because of the lightning, and it caused a fire. So again, you know the saying with lightning, you know, when lightning roars, go indoors. And absolutely, because lightning is extremely hot, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. So we don't want to mess around with lightning. You don't want to mess around with flooding either. A lot of flooding will be going on with this heavy rainfall moving through here. You don't want to be driving through the flooded areas. Remember, turn around, don't drown. That is the saying from the National Weather Service, and that's something that we need to remember to do here with our very, very saturated ground. But as we check out velocity, once again, it's holding very, very steady there in the Sunrise area. There's Reagan, there's the Long Branch area, heading over toward Bremont. Bremont, you need to be ready to move real quickly, and this is tracking off to the east. Once again, some of the communities that are in line. Let me get out of the way here so you can kind of see as we put that tracker on there. Heading over toward Long Branch at 624, the Alto Springs area at 629, Mustang at 632. It could be moving through your area. White Rock at 646. There's Willow Creek at 701. You can see the update there with our velocity. Still holding on. It's holding its own. Over toward Bald Prairie around 703. It will be moving in that direction. So it's going to be just staying south of Riesel, south of the Perry area. And now we've got a shear marker once again. The radar's picking up. We've got some intensity or some strengthening of the rotation going on here at the lower levels. And there's a marker for you right there in the Sunrise area. That is an area of very, very intense wind at this time. Xavier, let's take us down a little bit closer too with that. And let's get some of those communities involved to show you exactly where that is. It's right where that hook echo is. We've been talking about that here for the last hour or so. To the north, that's where the strong hail will be inside the thunderstorm. But if you're in the Reagan area over toward Long Branch, Blue Ridge, Alto Springs, Mustang, you need to head to your safe spot right now. This is a dangerous situation. This is a possible tornado here. It's been pulsating up and down. It's got a well-defined hook echo on this, and it looks like that's going to continue to march off to the east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. You'll notice most of that activity is pretty quiet right now down toward the Reagan area, but it's going to be picking up. Keep it right where it is there, Xavier, and put a tracker, if you don't mind, off to the east at about 20 miles per hour. We're going to see the timing on this for you to kind of give you an idea on this. Okay, Reagan, they're around 6:29, so in 9 minutes, that possible rotation. Yeah, it makes maybe in within 5 minutes or so as it moves through. As we update the time because of the speed here, over toward Blue Ridge around 6:33, the Long Branch area at 6:40. You get the idea that this is not going to be falling apart here. Mustang at 6:50. There's the Headsville area around 7:16 as it moves off in your direction. You need to take cover because this is a possible tornado, and it's definitely could be bringing some damage, not only with the very strong winds, but with the heavy rainfall out there and the possibility of some hail. That hail is right now staying just to the north for the most part, that heavier hail as that moves off, but that tornado warning that is still in effect, that goes until 6:45. Hail numbers look like this. Just remember, about 1.75 golf ball size hail. When you get to 2 inches, you're starting to talk about hail. Hen egg size hail, 1.25 $half size hail. So either way you look at it, this is all severe hail. This will all do damage. They will break windows. Definitely could bring down some branches, some limbs on trees. So don't be surprised if we have some power outages in that area because of that as that moves through. But that's still intensifying. It's holding its own there around the Sunrise area as that moves off to the east. Heavy rainfall, heavy hail or large hail just to the north of that as that moves across the area. Remember, we've got that air, that low-level air that has to go into the thunderstorm. That's why you usually don't see much in the way of any thunder activity south of a big cumulonimbus cloud, a big supercell, because you need to have that air go in, and then as it goes in, it wraps up and it goes up. And what happens with that is that's when it mixes with the other air that's coming in from behind in the thunderstorm, and then we get a vortex, and then we get a tornado. So that's kind of how that works. And it looks like we are going to be looking at the Long Branch area over toward the Alto Springs area. There's Reagan, and there's a track on that, still moving off to the east at about 20 to 30 miles per hour at this time. So there's the track on that, and that continues to move off. You can see some of those communities that are included right now over toward Blue Ridge. Roughly around 639, White Rock at 658 across the region as well. Bald Prairie at 715, and it does look like Willow Creek around 716 as well. But we're watching some reports here come in from the National Weather Service here that they are definitely seeing some circulation in that region at this area at this time. Matter of fact, I'm just seeing something here from one of the storm reports, actually from Jason, one of the storm meteorologist up at the National Weather Service. There's exactly that same area. It's, again, a very dangerous storm. It's about to cross Highway 6 there, south of Marlin. That's where we're kind of circled in for you right now. A tornado is very likely in this area now. Again, this is an image that we're seeing. We'll go back over to velocity. We'll show you, we'll match it up here, because, and then we'll stop it and circle it. There's a tornado that's very likely in this area at this time. Again, the circulation is about ready to cross Highway 6. They're pretty positive that there's a tornado that's in progress right now in this location. So let's just stay right there. That is coming from Jason Dunn. He's one of the meteorologists up at the National Weather Service in Dallas here, and he's been eyeballing this right now. But this is the area right now. He's very confident that we're looking at a tornado on the ground in this region. Notice how it's moving off to the east at this moment. So this area, Reagan, as you work your way over toward Long Branch, the Alto Springs area, you need to be seeking shelter here. Tornado is likely right now. Those are the words from the National Weather, that this is all moving off to the east at about 20 miles an hour. Xavier, can you please put a tracker on that? Let's just drag it out here, because this is a very dangerous situation right now. We don't want anybody to get hurt, and you need to be heading to your safe spots right now, your shelters. Long Branch within 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. In Long Branch, the Stranger at 6:30, Alto Springs at 6:36, Mustang at 6:39. We continue to go down the list, and the showers and storms from basically the White Rock area over toward Headsville, Willow Creek at 7:17, Bald Prairie at 7:18. There's more than likely a tornado that's been developed here in this supercell, and that continues to track off to the east. It is right where that inflow notch is. It's right where the hook echo. So it's all lining up just about perfectly for this, and that continues to track off to the east. It is staying just to the south of McClanahan, but very, very large hail included with the very heavy rainfall in this area. That's all going to be moving off to the east as well. So looking upstream here, if you live in these communities, you also need to be thinking about, putting your car in the garage if you can, but also prepare to move quickly to your safe area, your safe spot. Center part of your home, bathroom, or maybe a closet, because this is moving in your direction and it hasn't been falling apart. Matter of fact, if anything, it's been getting a little bit stronger as it moves into that area. So this is a very, very strong supercell. And if you live in Bremont right now, you need to be ready to head to your shelter, because it's knocking on the door. It'll be moving into your area here very, very soon. Other areas over toward Long Branch, as well as some of those other spots, as we put another track on that and drag out some of the heavier rainfall that's going to be moving off to the east. Take a look at that right now. Over toward the Coit area at 6:32, over toward Willow Creek at 6:56, Round Prairie 7:06, Long Hollow 7:21, Marquez. Well, we were talking about severe weather not long ago there. Here we go again, 7:22 in that area, as that whole cell just kind of holds together as it moves off. But this is the area of concern right now. We'll take you even down a little bit closer if we can, Xavier, and let's get real close. There we go, and just stop it, just to give people an idea. Let me get out of the way, because you can see some of the city streets. Just stop it right there. But there's the Blue Ridge, there's Long Branch, there's Mustang. You'll notice the County Road 251, it's coming up on that. There's Reagan. You need to be in your spot, your safe spot now in the Reagan area. But once again, there's County Road 217. It is following Highway 6. We told you it was was going to follow Highway 6, and that's exactly what it's doing right now. It's very likely it's a tornado southeast of Marlin, and that's heading down toward the Reagan area there, down very, very, very soon there, FM 413, Blue Ridge, that whole area there. I know they just kind of fixed the sign there. You always see the sign when you go by on Highway 6 there of Welcome to Reagan, and that's going to be in line right now of maybe getting hit because of that possible tornado that's in that area, but that continues to slide off to the east and slightly to the southeast. Here's our velocity. Once again, we've got our shear marker right over the area of concern. That's where the rotation is. That's where we are looking at wind that's blowing away from the radar site. That's the red. With the wind blowing in from the radar site, that is the green, where you see those combined, and especially the bright colors. The bright colors, your gate-to-gate shear, you're at the top, your maxes. So they range fold is what we call it. That means they get so strong, they range fold, and they get to an area where you're talking maybe 80, 90 mile per hour winds going one way, and same thing going the other way. That's what's going on right here in this region, right along Highway 6. So Highway 6, definitely you're under the gun there in Highway 6. But once again, if you know anybody that's traveling home on Highway 6, give them a call. Let them know, hey, we've got some possible tornado not far away from the Reagan area here. Stop where you are, because remember, you don't want to be in a car. That is for sure when you come up with something like that. But as we look at our reflectivity, the showers and storms continue to blossom here across the region over toward the Blue Ridge area and then down toward Reagan. There's some possibilities of some hail up toward the McLennan area. And then you'll notice looking upstream here that if you live down in this vicinity here, you might want to start thinking about, you know what, we've got something upstream heading our way here that you need to definitely take cover for at this moment. So this continues to track off to the east, and the Bremont, you're in line as we check out the hail. This is our hail tracker on our Viper radar, monitoring the hail, or at least the possible hail that's inside this supercell. We've got large hail. We've got 1.5. We're talking about hail that's maybe $half size for the most part, and that's obviously severe hail. That'll be moving across the area as well. So we've got hail to deal with, we've got the heavy rainfall, which is going to be leading to flooding, and we've got the tornado, which is likely now, because it's well defined here in basically on all the maps that we are looking at, all the models and all the radars that we are looking at here. Now, rainfall amounts, just to give you an idea here, a quick 2 to 4 inches of rain is already fallen here, and this is over the last several hours here. You'll notice it shrinks for just a little bit, but then it begins to pick back up again here. That's just because of the rainfall that was falling yesterday. Gets rid of that and adds a little bit more here as we go toward the next hour or so across the region. But if you're in this region, this is the spot that the possible tornado is. And again, Weather Service is pretty likely calling this a tornado, and I would totally agree with that, because it has all the ingredients, and it has all the specs for a tornado. The Long Branch area, there's Reagan, again, right along Highway 6. It looks like it may be going right in between those communities at this time as it tracks off to the east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So again, a tracker on that. We're going to stay with that so you can see where that's moving right now, over toward the Long Branch around 635, Alto Springs at 640 at this time. We're also seeing it head over toward Headsville at 704, Willow Creek at 714 too as well. So we're also getting reports from the ham radio operators out in Limestone County. This is Rebecca Snow. She's reporting in right now that some sporadic 2-inch hail being reported on Highway 7. That's in Falls County, and basically if you are, that's about you're heading up toward just south of the Bremont area, so that would be an area to watch as well. Also getting hail 5 miles east of the Highway 7 region at this time. Again, heavy rainfall, and that's going to be the story as we go throughout the evening. A lot of this is going to be continuing to move off to the east. It's not falling apart. again, you're looking at our reflectivity, and what we are seeing with that is that possible area of concern in the circle. That's a marker. That's something that our Doppler radar will do here when it has rotation going on, and that matches up with the velocity here in the area as well. Take a look at the velocity. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here. That's the possible area that we have the rotation. I say possible because nothing has been confirmed yet, but everything that we have looked at says this is a tornado here in this area, and that's why we're pretty confident that this is a tornado that's not far away from the Blue Ridge area, north of Reagan, right along Highway 6 over toward the Long Branch area. Again, that tornado warning goes until 6:45 this evening. As this tracks off to the east and slightly to the southeast, expect not only some very, very strong winds, but we're seeing some very heavy rainfall, some hail out there. And again, that rotating wall cloud out there will be moving through the area as well as that tracks off over toward Mustang here around 6:37, White Rock at 6:52, Headsville at 6:58, Willow Creek. We're still seeing some activity at 7:05 moving through the area. Bald Prairie at 7:09, and as you work your way down toward Round Prairie and even Long Hollow, 7:15 to about 7:30 is when that'll be moving through your area as well. This is, again, a possible tornado. We're pretty confident, though, that we are seeing some rotation with that. It's well defined here from everything that we've looked at, from our reflectivity to our velocity to where the hail cores are, everything else, and that moves through. So if you live in Blue Ridge, there's Bremont. You need to be heading to your safe spot right now. We've been telling you where to go when it comes to that, but that's going to be marching very rapidly, and it looks like it's picking up a little speed too as it tracks off in that direction. Just looking a little bit farther downstream, we are seeing the heavy rainfall beginning to push into this area. Again, a lot of this is going off to the east at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. Headsville around 6:38. Thornton, there you go, around the 6:46 timeline. Seal around 6:55. Round Prairie 6:56. There's Old Union at 7:02 and Long Hollow around 7:10. And you notice the movement there just a little bit on our shear marker, but it's been moving off to the east. So it is holding its own. Once again, if you are in Blue Ridge, there's Reagan, there's Bremont, you need to be definitely in your tornado area. You talking about your safe spot. That is for sure. You know where everything is because this is heading in your direction. We're seeing the hail just north of the Blue Ridge area as that pushes off to the east. What we are also looking at is some very heavy rainfall. So look for some flash flooding to go on here in that region as well. Yeah, it's moving pretty fast, but you know what? We've had so much rainfall here over the last month or so. It's not going to take much of anything to get that flooding going again. So that's why, even though it's going fast, we're still going to have problems with some isolated flooding here in the region. But there is a close-up there with our reflectivity, and this is the area of concern right here. So if you're in Long Branch, you're in Bremont, head to your safe spot. Need to be away from those windows right now. This is a tornado, more than likely, and that's going to be tracking off to the east. There's our velocity checking out the winds. It's right where we circled here. So this is the area that matches up. So we're pretty confident we're seeing a strong tornado in that area. If you're over toward the White Rock area, down toward Bremont, that'll be moving in your direction here very, very soon as that moves off to the east. But this is the spot right here. Heading over toward Long Branch. That's where the possible tornado would be heading your way. Down toward Reagan as well with our velocity as we put a tracker on that and stretch it out there. Again, this is updated information as we get it. So that's why we keep putting a tracker on here. The speed continues to be about the same, but the storm continues to move off to the east. So again, it's moving through the Mustang area now. Now White Rock. We were talking about that at 6:51 over toward Bald Prairie at 7:08, Long Hollow 7:30, and if it holds together, again, Marquez at 7:32. I can see, if you want to throw that back up there, they extended that tornado warning now. They pushed it to 7:15. It looks like the tornado warning now goes until 7:15 for Limestone County. That shouldn't be a surprise because we knew Limestone County was the next in line, and that's what's going on. You got to look downstream, and that's what we're expecting here. Not only are we going to see the heavy rainfall first, we're going to see then the possible hail. Then that's when we see the circulation there, the more than likely tornado that's in this region right now, and it's moving through Blue Ridge at this time as it pushes off to the east. It looks like it may be just staying just to the north of Reagan, but I wouldn't take any chances. That is for sure. There's Bremont. Once again, it looks like it's to your north, but these tornadoes can turn. If it turns, it's going to go right toward your community. So let's be on the safe side right now in Bremont and get to your shelter right now, because that could be heading in your direction. There's the movement. Once again, more off to the east and slightly northeast, roughly at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. That heavy rainfall begins to make its move over toward the Ball Prairie area, and there's that hail with it as well. Again, that's just to the north. There's a little inflow that we're still seeing, and as we take a look at the hail core here, we're going to put that in motion. We just did. It's holding together. So that hail core inside that supercell is not weakening, which means the hail is still as large as it was 5 minutes ago. 2 inches, we're talking about Henake. We're also talking about some hail that's about 1.5 inches. So we're talking $half size hail in that area. Maybe a little bit smaller down around Blue Ridge, but we're getting close to the circulation, that is for sure, as that moves off in the easterly direction. So humidity's out ahead of it, need to be taking cover. Let's take a look at the hail size there, because you saw some numbers, just to give you an idea what they look like here. We're talking about 1 inch hail, it's quarter size. Ping pong ball size hail, 1.5. What you don't see in between there, 1.25, that is that $half size hail. There's the golf ball size hail, tennis ball, and of course, baseball size hail, something that you'd never want to see here across the region. And we're going to talk about softball, but this is the size of hail that's possible with these storms. And you have to have large supercell thunderstorms to have hail this big, because remember what hail is. Hail is that water droplet that comes down a big thunderstorm and then goes right back up. It goes down, accumulates more water, it freezes, it goes back. So the cycle may go on, and so it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until the thunderstorm can't hold it anymore. And then it falls to the ground. And when it's fallen to the ground at 2.5 inches in diameter, you know it's got to be a huge supercell. And that's kind of what it looks like with the hail sizes here across the region. Once again, you're looking at some Doppler radar estimates right now of the hail. But as we go back to our reflectivity, that is showing us where the strong rain, the thunder, also the very, very, gusty conditions that we're seeing here across the region. You see the lightning out there. There's the lightning strikes over the last couple of minutes. There, it ramps all the way up to about 100, 107. That will continue to update as that moves off. But the storm cell is moving at a pretty good clip, but it's still holding its own. It's not weakening once we start to see it move from Falls County into Limestone County. And again, the tornado warning is now in effect for Limestone County. That runs through the next half hour or so. That'll continue to track off to the east. What we are also watching for right down here is that circulation, that area. Bremont, you're just going to be to the north of it, but you still need to be heading to your safe spot right now, because those storm cells could definitely turn quickly off to the right, or be a right turner, and that would be heading in your direction. There's the Long Branch area. Once we see that the heavy rainfall move through White Rock, then it kind of quiets down just a little bit. You always hear the saying, oh, the quiet before the storm, but that's what they're talking about right there. Quiet before the storm, and then here comes the huge storm, and that's where the possible area right now of some circulation going on there in that region as that moves off to the east and to the northeast. Bremont, be on the lookout. It is close by. You need to be in your tornado shelter right now. Our velocity, checking out the winds, it hasn't weakened at all. Remember velocity, those are the winds inside the thunderstorm. That'll see us see where the rotation is going on. Notice how it comes in here, and then all of a sudden it jumps down. See how it starts to turn to the right. just a little bit. It could do the same thing down here. So that's why we need to be on the lookout. The red indicates the very, very strong winds going to the radar site. The green going toward the radar site. The red's away. So we see that brightness right there, and that's where we are seeing the possible tornado. Reagan, not far away from Long Branch. Tracker on that will stretch it out, and we are looking at quiet conditions right now down around Hogg, down around Bremont, but that could change very, very soon. White Rock at 6:52 over toward the Headsville area at 6:59. You notice Willow Creek at 7:08, Bald Prairie at 7:09, Round Prairie as well as the Long Hollow area. We need to watch that too. I know it's half hour away, but it's still could be included in this with the strong storms that have been holding together. Marquez at 7:33 as well as it moves into your area. Xavier, let's just back it up just a little bit here. Let's just show, once again, there could be some folks just joining. Let's go a little bit farther to show, there we go, right there. Waco, you're in the clear. Hewitt, Lorena, down toward Troy, Temple, Rogers. You are in the clear right now. All the activity is to your east. Just so you know, there's Rosebud, Cameron, down toward the Calvert area. Still looking quiet at this time. Riesel has cleared now. You're going to be very, very wet, but at least you are starting to dry out. This right here is where most of the activity has been going on here this evening. Groesbeck down toward Thornton. As you work your way down toward Bremont, this is where that tornado, more than likely tornado, definitely will be shown. And again, the Weather Service is pretty confident that we are looking at the possible tornado. So we'll get a little closer into that. We'll put a tracker on that, if you will, Xavier, stretch it off to the east here, 20 to 30 miles per hour right now. And it does look like that will be heading right over toward the Davis Prairie area very, very soon. The sirens are going off in that region right now, just getting more reports here. Also getting reports in Falls County. This is from the fire department there, Jay Schultz there, that there is a tornado reported on the ground by Reagan. That is roughly, he's from the Reagan Fire Department on the ground at FM 413 and 2413. So once again, this was at 6:41, just several minutes ago. And like I said, I mean, there's more than likely this is a tornado. And now we've got visual contact from a reliable source. He's from the fire department here, that the tornado is on the ground here, reported by Reagan. You see it right there? You can just see exactly. See it? There we go. Now, you notice how that turned to a purple color? That means it's a confirmed tornado warning. We have a tornado that has been confirmed on the ground. That means we are definitely not only seeing it with our Doppler radar, they're seeing it on the ground too. And then that tornado, confirmed tornado warning, starting to, if you want to put that back up, heading over toward the Limestone area right now. We've got tornado warning for Robertson County too. There we go as well. Robertson County, that one will go until 7:15 as well. Once again, we are looking at spotters getting reports of multi-vortex tornadoes right now. Those multi-vortex tornadoes are those like little fingers that are going around the tornado that are on the ground at this time. Also getting reports of 2-inch hail near Highway 7. And I'll tell you, this is an area that they're getting hammered over toward Blue Ridge. As we take it down, there's the Mustang area. You can see State Highway 14. We're moving the cursor there for you, but there's FM 2413. As we circle that spot right there, that's where we are looking at not only that large hail, but the confirmed report now of a tornado on the ground there. It's been reported and confirmed by the fire department in Falls County, and that's heading over toward Long Branch, Mustang, as well as the White Rock area, Headsville. This is what we've been talking about, and that's all going to be moving off to the east. Mustang, very, very soon. Here's 6:47. It's within the next minute. It's moving through right now, actually. White Rock at 6:59. Headsville at 7:08. Bald Prairie at 7:16. Marquez around 7:40 at this time. So we are watching, watching seeing and getting reports not only from the ham radio operators, but from the National Weather Service and the fire department that's right there. And they are telling us, yes, it is on the ground. This tornado is on the ground in that area. That is coming from the fire department. The alarms and the sirens are going off. That's because of the confirmed tornado, and that's why you see the purple color here in the region. We're also getting reports of 2-inch hail down in that spot as well. So we've got not only large hail, we've got a confirmed tornado in that area right there around the Blue Ridge spot. That's moving off to the east and northeast. There's our hail, 1.75, so large hail being reported in that area. We're talking golf ball size hail or hen egg size hail. Large hail in that spot right now as that moves. It's just going to be to the north of Bremont right now. Petaway, White Rock, Bald Prairie, you are in line. Again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. You need to seek shelter. Where do I go? Take a look. We've been talking about this here, but we're going to remind you, because I'll tell you, you need to make sure you get to the best place if you live in those communities. Best places, tornado, you want to make sure you want to get down to the basement or your safe spot if you have one. If you don't, get to the lowest level of the house. A lot of people have the ranch houses out there. Just get in the center part of your home. You want to stay away from the windows. You want to get into a hallway right now or a bathroom. The flying debris, the glass that breaks, that's what will injure you. So you want to stay away from that. You want to stay away from those open rooms. You want to get away from the family room or the dining room. You want to get to a hallway. Maybe a hallway, because they usually don't have any windows in a hallway for the most part. You want to get away from the cars and the mobile homes. Get out of those. Once again, it's better to be out laying in the ditch, laying down in the gully, than it is to be in that area. But that's why you notice the red turn to a purple color here, because that is now a confirmed tornado. The fire department has confirmed a tornado that has moved through Falls County, getting ready to push into basically Robertson County and Limestone County also under the gun as well, as this continues to track, and it's been holding its own. There's enough fuel in this atmosphere here. It's been so humid that these thunderstorms continue just to keep going. There's a lot of energy out there for it, and there we go as that tracks off to the east. We'll put a tracker on that for the most part, and what you're going to be looking at here is some showers and some storms continuing to move over toward Mustang, roughly at around 6:50 this evening, so within the next 5 seconds roughly, over toward White Rock at 7:02, Headsville at 7:11, Round Prairie at 7:30, and again Long Hollow around 7:44. That'll be moving through as well. And I think for the most part, not only are you seeing the tornado out there, but you're going to see large hail as well as some very heavy rainfall. You're already getting the heavy rainfall in the Willow Creek area, and that kind of stretches back here. So we want to show you where the tornado is right now. We know it's a tornado. It's been confirmed. So this is where it is right now, just south of Blue Ridge, just to the west of the Long Branch area. There is a tornado on the ground, and you need to seek shelter immediately here. It's been reported by the fire department, and this is moving off to the east. So if you live in these areas here, you need to be going to your safe spot right now. There's a tracker on this. This is a very, very dangerous situation with the tornado being confirmed right now and moving across the area. There's the tracker. We're going to put it on the leading edge of the rotation. We've got another marker, shear marker, showing up there as well. That could just be that one, but just a very, very strong or intense tornado heading over toward White Rock around 6:56, over toward the Petaway area at 6:59, Headsville at 7:05, Bald Prairie at 7:13, Willow Creek. It could be moving through your neighborhood around 7:14, Marquez there around 7:38. But notice how we're getting a second development there. It could still just be one tornado here, but we've got, again, a very, very strong inflow right there, a strong circulation. Plus, we're also getting reports there from ham radio operators as well as spotters that multiple vortices have been been picked up, and they've seen multiple vortices. So that's maybe another reason why we are seeing a couple spin-ups here or some possible tornadoes, 2 shear markers there because of those extra vortices. And there could be 2 tornadoes. We don't know yet. This is just a huge supercell. We know there's one for sure, but that's all going to be heading over toward Mustang. Mustang, you're in line there. Mustang, so you need to be making sure you head down to your safe spot right now as that tracks off. White Rock is in line. There's the Petaway area. That's all going to be tracking off to the east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. As we want to check out our debris detector down here, that would indicate anything being picked up and thrown up in the atmosphere. So we would be very interested to watch that. Right now, it looks fairly quiet for the most part down in that region. Velocity, obviously, you know what that is, with the wind going in opposite directions here. There's our rotation detector, and again, we're picking up a couple shear markers there. There's our velocity. Again, that's our reflectivity, showing you where that rain and the thunder and even some of the hail would be right now at this time. But again, with our Doppler radar, you'll notice, for the most part, that we are watching the continuing movement to the east, and it has a little southeast movement to it right now. Once again, it's going to be going to where the moisture is plentiful, and that is going to be probably just a little bit east and then southeast. So if you're in these communities, Bremont, like we said, it's just to your north right now, but if that turns to the right, you're in trouble. That is a confirmed tornado on the ground there. That'll be passing just to your north, at least right now. It could turn, and if it turns a little bit farther back off to the right there, we're in big trouble in Bremont because that would be moving in your direction. But that is the 2 areas of concern with double rotation and maybe double circulation going on in Long Branch as that moves off in that direction. So we'll put a tracker on that right there, if you don't mind, Xavier. And that's going east, slightly southeast. Now, I think that movement is starting to kind of dip just a little bit down in that area. Perfect. And what we are watching is for the White Hawk area, or White Rock, excuse me, at 7 o'clock. That's in the next 5 minutes or so. Headsville at 7:07. Willow Creek at 7:16. There's Bald Prairie at 7:17. Eventually, Long Hollow and Marquez, you could be in line as well. There's Marquez, and then you get a little bit farther over towards Centerville. You're talking right along I-45, but right now it looks like it's just moving across the Long Branch area, and that'll continue to push off to the east. It's the Petaway area. You're next in line, too, of seeing the showers and storms and the possible tornado moving through your area at this time. Okay, Adam, we do have some video now to pass on to you.
Yeah, I might give you a little break here. This is a possible tornado in Reagan, shot by ex-user MRK Weather. You can see out in the distance there, it looks like a funnel cloud, possible tornado touching the ground there in a field. Dark clouds, you can see it's in the distance. And then we've got another funnel cloud that we can scroll forward to. This is video from ex-poster Mr. KWX. That's a funnel cloud as well. Hasn't touched the ground yet in this video, but you can see it is a massive storm. Mike LaPointe has been forecasting all evening long since basically the beginning and after Fox 44 News at 5:30 started. This weather is just moving in, and now we've got reports of confirmed tornadoes in certain areas. And Mike, could these be what the Weather Service is talking about here, what we're looking at right now?
You're absolutely right. Yep, that definitely could be one of the funnels of the tornado. You know, the difference between a funnel and a tornado. A funnel is not on the ground. The tornado is. Absolutely, a debris cloud with a tornado on there. And a lot of these storms, Adam, these supercells, that looks like it is on the ground. Yeah, that looks like a tornado. Absolutely right. And that does look like we are, could see more than one there. They were having reports from some storm chasers out there and some of the ham radio operators of some little dingling vortices. Those are the little hanging ones around there. That can be a tornado as well as that moves through the area, Adam.
Just goes to show you, when you guys are showing the green parts and the red parts touching, the parts moving toward the radar and parts moving away from the radar, this is what's causing. This is a result of that. So it's definitely something to take notice of. Very important when meteorologists and weather service personnel say that there's signs of rotation in the area. This is what's spinning up right here. So there's, again, X poster, Mr. KWX, showing the tornado. It looks like the tornado right in that area, then a funnel cloud in the Clifton area, two different ones. And again, this is what we're talking about with the Weather Service, confirming that there's been tornadoes hit the ground. Also, I'd like to mention that there's been damage way back in the beginning of this at Bruceville Eddy. There was damage to, I believe, a barn and some injuries. And we were going to report on Fox 44 News at 5:30 that there's a boil water order in place in that area. So they've been damaged so far. They're having problems again, and the boil water order in place there. So they can't even have the water to drink while they're trying to clean up after the mess. But this is powerful video, Mike.
It is absolutely, Adam, and you're absolutely right. Now we tell people, you get to your safe spot, you get to your storm shelter, you stay away from those windows, and this is why right here. You're absolutely correct when you're saying that. And you're looking at those pictures that are unreal at this time, and you can't tell for the most part. It doesn't matter how large the tornado or the funnel is, it still does just as much damage.
Something I've also wanted to point out as well, that after yesterday's storms knocked out a lot of the power to certain areas, that means today their TVs might not be on. They might not be able to watch this. So if you've got friends in the path of this, give them a call. Tell them to get their phones, get the news apps, get the National Weather Service apps going so they'll be ahead of it, because they might not even know it's coming their way.
You're right, and you've noticed on the radar screen, we went from a red tornado warning to a purple. That is a confirmed. That's what confirmed. And now we are seeing the confirmed
evidence of that.
Evidence right here. So our Doppler radar has been doing an excellent job, not only showing you where the heavy rainfall is, the inflow notch, also the hook echo, but it's also showing you the wind, and that's lining right up with where the pictures are, Adam.
Is working out. The reporting has been amazing, by the way, Mike and Xavier. Just traveling parts of Central Texas to see where it's going step by step. And you're saying there's another one. There's one right now that will expire at 7:15. You're saying
that one goes until 7:15 this evening. We'll stop it. We'll put a tracker on that. It's so important that we put those trackers on there.
Gives people a heads up.
Gives people a heads up. And you know what? Not everybody's watching at the same time. Someone may be just sitting down and hearing the sirens and turning the TV on right now. So we're going to tell you, hey, this is when you can expect it. And we're putting a tracker on that right now. This is a confirmed tornado. We've not only seen pictures of it, we know that there's a tornado on the ground in this area. That's when you see a purple box. That means it's a confirmed tornado. So there we go with the storm trackers and communities. And I want to back out just a little bit because I want to show you what's going on downstream as well. But Headsville at 7:08, Bald Prairie at 7:17, Willow Creek at 7:19, the Seal area at 7:30, Marquez 7:43, Long Hollow as we get very close to Interstate 45. It could be moving in your direction. And some of the purple colors up here, some very, very large hail. We've had reports of 2-inch in diameter hail. That's hail as big as an egg. Imagine that falling from the sky. 2.5 tennis ball size hail in the area. A lot of this hail is severe hail. So not only are we dealing with the tornado, we're also dealing with a lot of hail and the very heavy rainfall. You know, usually rainfall, it would come and go because it's moving so fast, but we've had so much rainfall here, it's causing huge issues with flooding, and that's what's going on in this region. So that's a look at our hail tracker inside our Viper radar. But back to the reflectivity, and now this is velocity. We're going to keep showing you velocity because that really tells the story too. Velocity, that's the wind inside these thunderstorms. You can't see inside the thunderstorms, but the radar can, and it looks at the wind. The green indicate the rain, and the wind, I should say the wind that's going toward the radar site. The red, the wind going away from the radar site. So where you want to watch is the spot where it's the brightest because it is the closest. When we're talking about those winds, we're talking winds maybe 80, 90 miles per hour going toward the radar site. Okay, and then you have the bright red, that's 90-mile-per-hour winds going away from the radar site. So they're right next to each other. That's where you get your spin in the storm here, and that's where you get your tornado going on here. So over toward Mustang right now, you're getting blasted not only with some strong winds, but also the possibility of that tornado as that moves through. I say possibility of the tornado. It's a confirmed tornado, but there may be more than one tornado that's situated in this spot. If you live in that White Rock area over toward Headsville and also not far away from Bald Prairie, definitely some very intense thunderstorms that are producing not only hail, but that tornado, Adam. And matter of fact, if we can go back to that video, Tim, do you have that video? Adam, you can talk more about that.
Yeah, the tornadoes that you and the Weather Service have confirmed have happened. This is posted by an ex-poster, Mr. KWKT Weather. It shows a funnel cloud, then a tornado actually touching down in parts of our area, and then a funnel cloud is in the next video that touches down in Clifton. That's the funnel cloud right there. That's what Mike LaPointe was talking about. Just because it hasn't touched the ground, it makes it a funnel cloud, but it can still do plenty of damage. Plenty of damage could happen because of this. And like he was saying, you've got the purple boxes that are showing up on the radar now. So at first they're red, meaning that is a tornado, indicated tornado, indicator rotation. But now they're coloring that purple at the National Weather Service obviously because of this video right here. We've got the funnel cloud and the tornado, two separate pieces of video to show you. And it's happening right in the areas we're telling you. So Mike LaPointe and Xavier doing a good job at tracking this stuff. They're keeping a track on the National Weather Service's chat right now. They're talking with ham radio operators. They're talking with storm spotters. We've also, if this is coming to your area right now, if it's headed in your area in the next few minutes, you can just look back to what happened in Bruceville Eddy. There's damage to a barn there. There's possible injuries in that area. So the storm's not messing around. It can definitely cause funnel clouds and tornadoes to touch the ground. Those are confirmed at this point. Mike, you've got another tracker going up right now?
Yeah, and actually I'm just reading from Jason down. He's one of the meteorologists up at the Weather Service here. They're going to reissue this tornado warning, but they're going to put a considerable damage tag on there saying that this low-level circulation has really intensified here across the area. And just bear with me right now, but they say the extremely dangerous tornado now is located 7 miles northwest of Twin Oak Reservoir. Again, a very strong and dangerous tornado was located 7 miles northwest of Twin Oak Reservoir, and that's about 18 miles east of Marlin. It's moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. This is a PDS. That's a particularly dangerous situation right now, and you need to take cover. This is a damaging tornado on the ground. It's been reported and confirmed by law enforcement. So we need to make sure we are in our spots right now, our safe spots here. This is a life-threatening situation. We could see flying debris. Also very dangerous there if you're not in a sheltered area. Get out of those mobile homes. We are showing you the hail tracker on this right now. But as it pushes off to the east, we want to go back to maybe velocity and reflectivity here, Xavier, and to show where it's moving off. Again, this is a very, very dangerous circulation. Jason from the Weather Service is now saying it's located near LCR 700 and 702. Right now it's approaching the White Rock Road in the next few minutes. Okay, so let me repeat that. This is a very dangerous circulation. It's being picked out right there. You see where White Rock is. Again, near LCR 700, 702. Do you see that, Xavier, anywhere? 700 and 702. We're getting really close to it. Again, we've got these city streets here for you, so we'll show you that's moving right up into it here. But that's where it's heading toward the area. We're getting some reports here, newsroom. We're getting reports that major structural property damage in that area, near the Chilton area, where the initial reports of rotation came in. Now we're getting reports of major structural property damage in that spot. They're going to get some pictures to us and some addresses here very, very soon. But obviously, the Falls Fire Department is trying to rescue people if they have to in that area. But let's toss it over to Xavier right now. He's looking at our velocity and those winds, Xavier.
Yeah, Mike, we've been just tracking this storm the entire time as we're going. Like we've been talking about, just the gate to gate, the amount of wind speeds just going from towards and towards away, and you kind of see just the counteracting then creates that rotation. That's why we have that shear marker that we're looking at right now, right over LCR 700. Again, this is a confirmed tornado that is touched down by law enforcement. This is now a very dangerous predicament we've going into. Again, just make sure you're in your safe spot and make sure you are safe and in your safe area right now. Again, just we can see the velocity just going back and forth about the gate to gate. Again, you have that hook echo we've seen past couple of hours, past couple of minutes actually. This hook echo that has just been working through the area. And I'm going to switch over the velocity again. You can see the hook echo right here, just right there on that area, and it's matched up where the velocity is going towards and going away from it, getting that rotation, getting that lift. We do have that that dry air coming, that low level air going into the area and creating that notch. That notch is then creating that lift, and then it's spinning it from horizontal to vertical, then creating that tornado, which was then on the ground and is near LCR Road 700 and in between LCR 702 and approaching White Rock Road. So a lot of activity is happening and going towards White Rock, towards White Rock. Again, and make sure you're in your safe area. You want to talk about Bald Prairie as well. You have to be in your safe spot that's headed towards your area this next couple of minutes. Petway, again, in the area of concern. Willow Creek as well, going to the area. Want to go to Round Prairie, you're also in that area as well. We're just going to put a tracker on this right now. We can see just that area going about southeast at about 28 to 30 miles an hour. Again, you want to make sure you're careful towards that area. Now, Mike, we're just going to toss it back over to you. We can see all the towns in that area.
Yeah, that's right. Heading over toward the Headsville area around 7:14, over toward Bald Prairie at 7:23, Marquez around 7:46, Flynn at 8:02. This is a confirmed tornado. We know it's on the ground. We've seen pictures of it. We've got reports from the fire department, the police department, that this is a large tornado that's on the ground that is heading over toward the White Rock area right now. If I sound a little bit on edge, it's because this is a dangerous situation. You need to be heading to where your safe spot is. Stay away from windows here. We've had reports of damage. We've had reports there of large hail out there at this time. Again, the dangerous circulation is near LCR 702 there, and is approaching White Rock Road right now, and you can see where White Rock is. You need to be in your tornado shelter right now as that's moving in your direction here. We've got reports from the Falls Fire Department of structural damage there with the storm that was a little bit backstream or upstream just a little bit there, but that's where the rotation started moving toward the Chilton area as well. Once again, we are going to be watching very, very closely around the White Rock area, Bald Prairie, Headsville, down toward Petaway. That's all moving in your direction. This is a confirmed tornado, so it is definitely on the ground, and it will be moving in this direction. It's moving off to the east and slightly southeast, roughly at about 30 miles per hour, if that. But it has so much energy to work with that we've got lots of moisture in the air. We've got the right ingredients coming together, and this is the spot. Notice how we see the last few images, it kind of goes east and then southeast there. Once again, it's turning a little bit farther off to the right, just a little bit, to try to find the best moisture source for that. We'll flip on over to our velocity, and again, I'll keep my finger right here to see what's going on. And again, I didn't move my finger, did I? No. So that's the area of concern right there. White Rock. If you live in White Rock, get to your safe spot. We've got a tornado on the ground heading right toward White Rock right now. There's Petaway. There's Headsville. It's all moving in your direction here. This has had a history of producing some damage back off to the west here. Also, some very large hail as that moves in your direction. It may be wrapped in that rain. Let's check out our reflectivity here, Xavier, and you'll notice some very heavy rainfall, but we'll stop it here at the very end. Notice the well-defined inflow notch there. We kind of have a hook echo. Once again, if you're studying meteorology, you always want to see, what's a picture of a hook echo look like? It looks like this. This is where the tornado would be, and this is exactly where it is right now. White Rock, it's heading right toward you right now. If you live in White Rock, head to your safe spot in White Rock. I can't stress that enough. Stay away from the windows. You want to get into the interior part of your home bathroom. You want to get into maybe a closet. It's not just good enough to get there. You got to get there and get down, cover yourself up with a blanket or maybe a sheet, something to protect yourself in case the glass breaks or there's flying rocks and stones and anything like that. So you can definitely be okay with that. But that's where it's moving through. You notice the pink and the purple color, I should say, indicating a confirmed tornado that's moving in your direction. There's a look at the hail, too, as that tracks off. Hail, very, very large. Golf ball size to half-dollar size hail being reported, as well as some very heavy rainfalls. All these numbers you're looking at, all you need to know, severe hail. We've got severe hail located in the supercell, but that also should tell you how strong and how large these supercells are. These clouds can be 60 to 70,000 feet tall. We're talking clouds that are 10 to 12 miles tall. That's how tall they are. That's where you get the big hail, and that's what we're seeing here in Limestone, Robertson County, and eventually it's going to be heading over toward I-45 here very, very soon. But this line continues to race to the east and to the southeast. So White Rock, get in your basement or get in your safe spot right now. There's a tracker on it at this moment. And you'll notice it's moving over toward the Headsville area here in the next 3 minutes or so. Bald Prairie at 7:24, Marquez around 7:52, Flynn at 8:07. It'll be moving through your area. If you're just joining us right now, it's 7:13. Adam, let's show them that video of the tornadoes and the funnels that have been confirmed. So this is, again, a real bad situation right now for those areas that are just to the east and southeast of Waco.
All right, we're taking a look at video shot by an ex-user, Mr. RK Weather. He shot this tornado touching down in Reagan. Now that one is confirmed touching down on the ground in Reagan. And like Mike and Xavier have been reporting, the purple boxes on their radar indicating that has been confirmed by the National Weather Service. And we can scroll over to the next video, which I think is actually more impressive. That's a funnel cloud right there. That has been confirmed. That also shot by the same user, Mr. KWX. That's a funnel cloud shot in Clifton. This shows you that what you're seeing on the radar, that puts it into real life for you. That shows you what can happen if you don't take this seriously. That should show you to take it seriously right there. And Mike, not always are these funnel clouds so visible. If it's raining a lot, you're not going to see that. So that's why we say don't try to capture it with your eyes right now. Don't try to go out there and look around because it might be right in front of you and you can't see it. So it's best to get in those safe places you're talking about in the house.
Yeah, we call those wrapped in rain. You can't